Rebels game is at 8 p.m. He said game night. I'm going to be there. He's going to do a 2-hour live. No, it's 4:35. 2.5 hour live. Right, Tattoo? I like that song. Oh dear. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna play this one. Where's that? What's that? Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-da-da. I like that. I'm going to dance to it one more time. Not playing again? Thought it was gonna. Okay, then there's this one. That's Anno Domini Beats. This one's Shake. You guys, my hair's gonna be cute next to here. enough of that. Now I'm hot. I was so cold. I cracked the window and I had the heat on. Can you guys hear me? Hi, everyone. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Thank you. N-I-G-G. Come on, rapper. Come on. Maybe that's the other rapper. Now, all that stuff going on with that yesterday, a fake rapper in and a fake morbid and all this. I took everybody's wrenches. Do you see that? Everybody's wrenches. So nobody has a wrench. Wait, how does Donna McCain have a wrench in glitters and gold? Okay, now I'm confused. And Stephanie Guam. All of you have wrenches? I hit the save button. I thought I took everyone's wrench, according to Leanie. Hi, everyone. Okay, so now I'm confused. Here I thought I took everyone's wrenches because Rapper was upset. And I look, and almost everyone has a wrench. Hi, everybody. Lots have wrenches. I took everybody's, I hit all the things, and it was empty in the thing, but it did say, okay, it did say, Parker, don't talk next to my door, please. Please. All right. So, yeah. All right. Everyone has their wrench. So then maybe that's why Rapper's upset, unless this isn't the real Rapper. See, he's spelling it again. I don't know what to do. Ban user, delete comments, right? Because he's spelling N-I-G-G, you know what. It's the same guy. Well, this is the thing. 2 days ago, I gave Rapper a wrench. Maybe 3 days ago. No, 2 days ago. Or before that. Anyway, and then yesterday, he said he was one that didn't have a wrench. And the one I ended up giving a wrench to was the imposter. That's what I'll call it. The clone, the imposter. So he has different personalities. No, I know that. Yeah, I know that, Casey. Thank you. But yeah, you're wrenching his other accounts. Okay. I know he is. Twice now I've what is it called? Banned the thingamajigger. Banned. But see, that's just going to make him all the madder. How warm there, Tina? 83 in Virginia. Niece, you're in Virginia? Yeah, I'm in Washington State, and the air is pretty darn chilled. Yeah. Okay. Hi everybody. Get some eyeglasses. Hi Rachel Oakes. I have some, but when I took them in to get them cleaned, when I brought 2 days ago, I brought my daughters in to get the screw put back in because her lens was falling out. I said, why? I can't get them clean around the very, very edges. And he said, it's coming apart. And I've only had those glasses a couple of years. So I need new lenses. I don't have the money. I'll have some money someday. I just don't know when. We'll leave it at that. So, and then I do have contacts, but they're old and they're dirty. And I have an appointment. I made appointments for all three of us back to back. It's been a couple of years to get our eyes checked. And I have to do that before I have to pay for my $80 eye exam to get my contacts. So, yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. When this live is over, I'm going to take everybody's wrench, just so you know, okay? Because people are coming in as morbid and rapper with wrenches, and it's just a matter of time till you're cloned too. All right. So I tried to do that yesterday. Now, what did come up on the thing was it said not all of your, how is it worded? Not all of your whatever. It didn't say deleted, but it didn't say all of it went through. But when I hit the again or whatever, right, the same thing came up. But when I went back to look at the studio and community, you know, where mods are and everything, everyone was gone. So I thought it did work. There you go. Okay, you got sound now. My son keeps knocking on the gosh darn door. Ridiculous. Okay, so no, Lips, Casey Lips hasn't been here. You're wrenching his other accounts. Probably. No, Casey Lips had one way back ago, but then she disappeared for a while, and so I just didn't know if she was, you know, liked my channel or not. You know what I mean? Put a donation thing on your wall. Okay. This is what I've been putting up the bigger banner for people to see. Oh gosh. Hi everyone. Yeah, well, I have to have this first exam done. Then I got to have the contact one I got to pay for, which is 80, and then it's 99 for my contacts. So I'll just do them in steps. And probably you know, we'll see what happens. I do have a managing mod. Please monetize. Well, I don't have a wish list either, Lucia. I get so much shit. Okay, I've never had a wish list. People whining that I asked for help for my kittens, which weren't planned at all. We thought the mother kitty was a male because we got the little Maine Coon kitten as a little boy. Even the young gal in her 20s, the sweetest lady ever. So I know she wasn't trying to pull the wool over my eyes or anything. Even she said, "Here's your little boy. Here's your lovely little boy." And he was well, it's a girl, but we took what we thought was him, and yeah. And then a good 9 months later or whatever, we had kittens behind the couch, and that's because we rescued the male daddy kitty 6 months prior, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting 3 months backed up at the Humane Society to get him fixed. And he was mounting all the cats. Kittens weren't born yet, but the cats, my other cats. And I even kept Soots. I mean, Soots isn't even really a female name in here. Yeah, I know. Never fear a donation link. Well, maybe when the holidays roll around, I'll go ahead and do it. I don't know. But if you guys want to help me with litter or, cat chow or cat meat or whatever, there's my Cash App and my PayPal. It's really helped. Thank you so much. You feared it for 2 years and you shouldn't have. People do care, says Casey. Thank you. I did. I've been in there 5 times now, ever since that wee Scottish tiger came over from Lightning Tiger's channel. We'll just leave it at that. Try not to say his name, especially now that his channel's down. I was told he took it down. Now I've heard it got taken down. I don't know what the deal is, but thanks, Lucia. Thank you. The same day as Morbids. Anyway, yeah, see, thought mine was a girl till the vet said he can't be spayed, but we can neuter him. That's so funny. Yep. All right. So look at all the ladies in here. All the ladies hanging out. Thanks, Split Pea Soup. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Well, there's Michael Blade. Hi, Michael Blade. Pink Peony. Hi, everyone. Freezing in New York State, says Deborah. Peggy's here with a lot of flowers. Thank you. Yeah, I have a Cash App and a PayPal. It's right there. Dakota Dame 0627 is my PayPal because I was born in South Dakota, so I'm Dakota Dame. And then my Cash App's Paper Cut Tina because it's easier to remember. Yeah, well, I paid, insurance didn't cover my glasses at all. I thought I'd like them. They're green. They're a little too big. I've worn them before. But the sealant in the whatever around the very outside near the frames are coming apart. Oh, it's your first time back in after the wrapper blocking you? Yeah, well, that drama for me, I don't even say her name. It's been good week now, maybe 10 days. I don't allude to her. I don't say her name. I don't even talk this much. I don't. I'm completely done. I know how a real friend treats a friend. I'm 61. I know that by now. You know what I mean? Anyway, oh, Oh, no, no, I didn't. I didn't have anything to do with that RAS illusion. Yeah, no, I had nothing to do with that. That was way back before when I just stopped, following him and I mean, I've always wished him the best. He got upset when I stuck up for myself, you know. Um yeah, my sister who's recently been diagnosed with her high grade serous carcinoma that's throughout her body a little bit even. Her daughter's name is Dakota. Yeah. So anytime you guys want to pray for my sister, that'd be wonderful, wonderful. She gave me permission today to show her picture. And since the name Dakota came up, and I'm talking about her, this is a picture of her at the hospital on my little flip phone. I'll pull it up as close as I can. That's my sister Ashley. I've never ever seen her hair gray. It's always been a long blonde. I just can't go there yet. Ashley, she watches my show now and then. She's holding flowers. There she is in a wheelchair, leaving the hospital 2 days ago, I think it was. It could have even have been yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago. This is my wallpaper. There's tulips. Isn't he cute? Look at the little brown above both eyes like eyebrows. Remember when he was a little kitten? So I took some more up-to-date pictures of all the cats, including the kittens. Um, um, there. Now it's not quite so pink, but you can see my bags worse. I'm vain. I'm sorry. I'm just vain. Some of us are vainer than others. Did you guys hear about Winona Judd's daughter? I mean, I think she's in her 20s. I don't think she's in her 30s. Her name's Grace Kelly. She stood out on a highway, exposing her breasts and her lower part of her body. Like, seriously, who does that? And is holding a sign saying, "A free ride for a free ride." And yeah, they arrested her. This is Winona Judd, right? Remember the mother unalived herself with a gun, even? Good grief. And Winona or Naomi Judd, one of them. No, Naomi was the mother, right? Well, anyway, the one of the daughters found her. But this is the daughter of Winona, right? Who's got the more heart-shaped face and the, you know. Um, so yeah, so she's getting charged. She got charged with soliciting for prostitution. Like, isn't that just crazy? Yeah, it was on my, that says Nope, Gwen Stefani. Lips, who are they? Louis Vuitton. No, yeah, that was, oh, you're talking about eyeglasses. Okay. Ashley Judd. Yeah. Ashley is her other, was Naomi, right? Naomi's was the mother. Yeah. So yeah, can you believe that? What did Gwen do? She's married to Blake. Yeah. I think Gwen, was someone talking about glasses? Does Gwen Stefani have her own eyeglass? Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Not network, but you don't have to buy your yes, to a clueless fool that thinks you don't have to buy your lenses. The lenses that go in your glasses. Yes, Tina Shelton. Yeah, Blake Shelton. She's married to Blake Shelton. Hi to Boston's mom. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here, everyone. Good to see you, Deborah Ann. As always, everyone else. My frames are Harley Davidson limited edition, but they cost paled in comparison to what the trifocal lens themselves, over $900. Only a woman would say paled in comparison. A man wouldn't even talk like that. I know that's a woman. Doesn't matter, it's fine. I'm glad you're here. But I see the picture of the man. Maybe that's your son. Lips, I hear you. My prescription's so bad. My eyes are probably gosh darn worse, you guys. I haven't gone since, did they say, I mean, time goes by so fast, especially as you get older. You'll see that. It's very weird. But I think it's been 2.5 years or something since I've had a checkup. All right, you guys. So let's get to this. So anyway, that information about when Grace Kelly is her name came up in my email on People News or whatever. So I'm going to read this and get this done. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And then I read from my happy book, You Can Be Happy No Matter What, by Richard Carlson, PhD. He wrote, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, 5 Principles for Keeping Life in Perspective. All right, we spent 3 days or something on thought. Now we're on the second principle, the principle of moods. Our mood. Okay, so this is a little poem thing. Time cools, time clarifies. No mood can be maintained, quite unaltered through the course of hours. Time cools, time clarifies. No mood can be maintained quite unaltered through the course of hours. Thomas Mann. And I don't like reading too long. I'll read a couple of these. All right. Just as we are constantly thinking as human beings, our level of awareness that we are doing the thinking is constantly changing. This constant shifting in our awareness of ourselves as the thinker is what is known as changing moods. Up, down, every minute, every day. Our mood level is on the go. For some people, mood shifts are slight, for others extreme. In either case, the fact remains we are never in one place emotionally for too long. Just when it seems like life is going smoothly, bam, our mood level drops and life again seems rocky. Or just when life seems hopeless, our mood lifts and everything seems all right again. When you're in a high mood, life looks good. You have perspective and common sense. In high moods, things don't feel so hard. Problems seem less formidable and easier to solve. In a high mood, relationships flow easily and communication is easy and graceful. In low moods, Life looks unbearably serious and hard. You have little perspective. It seems as if people are out to get you. Life seems to be all about you. You take things personally and often misinterpret those around you. These characteristics of moods are universal. They are true for everyone. There isn't a person alive who is happy, fun to be around, and easygoing in a low mood, or who can stay bummed out, defensive, angry, and stubborn in a high mood. Our moods are always changing. People don't realize their moods are always on the run. They think instead that their life has suddenly become worse in the past day or the last hour. Take the example of a client who came to me initially because he perceived himself to have serious relationship problems with his wife. He came to my office on 2 consecutive days, and the first day he was glowing, even bragging about how much fun he'd had with his wife over the weekend. As he described it, they had laughed, played, talked, and taken romantic walks. Clearly, he was in a high mood. The next day, he came in complaining about the lack of gratitude he felt from his wife for all he was doing for her. She never appreciates anything I do, he said. She is the most ungrateful person I've ever met. I'm going to close the window. Kids are a little bit. All right. What about yesterday? I asked. Weren't you telling me how wonderful everything was between you? I was, but I was dead wrong. I was deceiving myself and have been for our entire marriage. I think I want a divorce. Oh my gosh. Such a quick and complete contrast may seem absurd, even funny, but we're all like that. In low moods, we lose our ability to listen, and our perspective flies out the window. Life seems serious, important, and urgent. Moods are part of the human condition. You can't avoid them. You aren't going to stop changing moods by reading this book. This can't happen. What can happen is that you can understand that moods are part of being human. Rather than staying stuck in a low mood, convinced you are seeing life realistically, you can learn to question your judgment when you're in this state. You will always see life and the events in it differently in different moods. When you are in a low mood, learn to pass it off as simply that, an unavoidable human condition that will pass with time if you leave it alone and avoid giving it too much attention. That's what I did. When the male daddy kitty ran away, the same day I found out the diagnosis for my sister, and it was difficult with the three of us here, kind of just, not knowing how to react to our moods. And then finding out that night that my ex-husband mother is dying. Like her kidneys are shutting down. She can't urinate. She has tingly feet. People are flying in from all over. She's 90. And now I think she's in hospice. She was at the hospital and now she's somewhere else. So like, do you know what I mean? Like all in one day. I was like, and I hadn't even told Joe, my son's father, my ex-husband, about my sister yet. So he was shocked. I was shocked. And then the kitty's gone. But as you all know, because I filmed him too, he was gone from 1 in the afternoon and he came back around 1. I mean, that's when my son heard him meowing and meowing in the bushes outside his bedroom window. And we're up on the 3rd floor. So he was down below. So he was that loud. So my daughter and I went down. She was able to pick him up. I said, clutch him real snug because he kind of wanted to get loose again because he was wild, before we rescued him a year and a half ago. So he has a taste of that outdoors, right? Whereas the kittens don't. The mama kitty doesn't. And Panda doesn't. They've all been indoors and they've never gotten out. So, I have callers for all of them. Thanks to Maggie from the UK, who makes a lot of my thumbnails, and so does Mandy Lynn, who's Blue Scarlet. Anyway, and we have like blankets and pillows stuffed all around this chair, right? A nice chair, the kind that kicks out and everything, but we don't have it that way, right by the door. So when we leave, we just have to really watch our feet and behind us. Yeah. Okay. Um, oh, so my point was, I even told my daughter, I said, let's just not think the worst about the kitty. I said a prayer right there in the kitchen and one outside when all three of us were walking around calling his name. Um, that afternoon, he disappeared. We went all around the buildings. This is a big apartment complex, very big. And, just calling kitty, 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 and Ginger and stuff. And I mean, who knows? It could have been behind a fence back that way over a creek. I mean, we were in the woods. We were all over. And I just said, look, you guys, if it's God's will, the kitty comes back to us, it's going to come back. And I said, Lord, your will be done. And we tried to stop thinking about it. But I did sleep out on the couch. I did put a small cat tree out there with a can of meat. Noticed none of it was gone. Found myself looking through the peephole every half hour to see if the cat might be sitting there. So anyway, he's back and it's wonderful. But my point is, try not to give it too much thought and attention. The negativity in your life really helps. I mean, you can't not think about it now and then, but to dwell on it, it's not healthy. All right, so moods are part of the human condition. You can't, I already read that. I already read that clear down to here. Okay, so leave it alone, giving it too much attention. With an understanding of moods, we can learn to be appreciative of our highs and graceful in our lows. This contrasts sharply with what most of us do in a low mood, where we try to think, figure, or force our way out of it. But you can't force your way out of a low mood any more than you can force yourself to have a good time doing something you don't like. The more force or thought you put into it, the lower you sink. Because life looks so serious in a low mood, there is an inherent sense of urgency within it. This is why most people have their serious discussions in low moods, and it is one of the core problems in relationships. The simple act of acknowledging a low state of mind in ourselves or in others can change the course of a relationship. The same behavior by our children that is cute when we are in a high mood is irritating when we are in a low mood. But once we understand the principle of moods, we will not confuse our children while we are in a low mood by unjustly accusing them, and then have to spend our time and energy when we are in a higher mood apologizing for our words or actions. This holds true in dealing with people other than our children and in all situations. When we understand the power that our moods have on our perspective, we will no longer need to react to or be victims of them. Things will eventually appear to us very differently if we just let them be for now. This book, for the people that didn't come in on the very first day when I was reading about the first principle, which was thought, was sent to me by my mother for my 50th birthday. See? June 27, 2012, for Megan on her birthday, her 50th. The best gift is your happiness. All my love, Mom. And she sent me a lot of books and my kids. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Hi, Mary Jane. Hi, everyone. Facts only. Lips, pay yourself. Sell something. People are more in need than your Gucci glasses. Disgusting. Oh, come on, you guys. Hit the 3 dots if anyone is trying to razzle you up. No, we're talking about glasses, actually. Facts only if you're still in here, because I'm always leaning in, but my contacts are really dirty and I can't wear them right now. Hi, Edna Hodder. And so then we were talking about frames, and then people were talking about the other frames. All right. Yeah, I'm not begging for anything. My thing is, you guys, I have, a Cash App and a PayPal, and if you want to help me with my channel or my life, feel free. You certainly don't have to. I hope you hit the like, and I hope you subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would be wonderful. Hi, 911 operator. If I didn't say your name, don't be offended. Hi, Pinkie Pie. Yeah. All right. So how long is this part right here? All right. I'm just going to read this one little part. Your mood changes, not your life. A high mood, positive feeling state, healthy psychological functioning, that certain feeling. In this state of mind, no mental adjustment needs to be made. You feel good. But what about those times when you don't feel so good? An understanding of moods allows you to get back to this healthy state quickly after losing it. When you understand that it is your mood, not your life, that has suddenly changed, you have a better perspective. This new perspective teaches you to take your thoughts less seriously when you don't feel good, to slow down your thinking and take your attention away from what you are thinking about. You will become more graceful and patient with your moods, which helps you get back to a state of healthy functioning. Remember, Stacy and the live-in babysitter. How might an understanding of moods affect that situation? What? If you look closely, you will notice that all situations like this are mood related. Okay, so I didn't read the little stories in the past. I'm not discounting the fact that there are times when you will draw the same conclusions about situations, irrespective of your mood, but the way you feel about something will always depend on your mood. Okay, it makes sense for all of us to be aware of our mood level, particularly when we are down. Okay. Everything looks different in different moods. If we understand this principle, our compassion for ourselves and for others increases dramatically. Increase your compassion in chat, folks, for each other. Hi, Chasing Justice. Hi, everybody. Everything looks different in different moods. If we understand this principle, our compassion for ourselves and for others increases dramatically. We will know that at times our partners or friends will see the bright side, the opportunity in a situation, and at other times they will see everything as a potential or real problem. If you learn to recognize other people's moods, you will cease to judge them when they are seeing the darker side of life. In a low mood, we all see the darker side, and understanding of moods will allow you to remind yourself Of course, they see it that way in a low mood. Without such understanding, you will see others as pessimistic, negative, or short sighted. You forget that an hour ago, the same person saw the exact same circumstance in an entirely different manner. When we begin to take notice of our own mood levels, suddenly the mood itself becomes responsible at any given moment for our outlook on life. In a higher state of mind, we will see the same situation differently. This is not a cop-out to responsibility, but a fact that life applies to every situation we have ever been or will be involved in. All righty, we will continue with moods class tomorrow. Stella Boyd Keep. Hit the like, you guys. Subscribe to me if you haven't, would you? Stella Boyd Keep. Wait, Stella Boyd Keep. Are you subscribed to me? I've lost some darn subscribers. I heard YouTube will just take some of yours. They're dwindling, according to Leanie. They're dwindling. 9 days ago, they were 2,657. Today, 2,629 or something. Now I'm in the gosh darn 20s, you guys. I'm not even 30. Yeah, I'm like, I don't like it. 10 or so usually. Well, yeah, I understand that, right? People unsubscribe, whatever, but every day they're like going down and down, and it just sucks. Because I wanted really badly 2,700. I felt like I was kind of on my way when I was 2,657. You know, I was only 43. I mean, that's a lot, but you know. Okay, so now I'm reading. I do this every day. I read out of these two things, the happy, and then I do this. Pebbles in the Pond, Living with Chronic Neurobiological Disorders. The reason I'm doing it, you guys, is because there's many people, including some creators, that think mental illness is mostly like environmental and maybe in their head, and people being melodramatic, or parents trying to say their kids have issues when they don't. And all this kind of stuff. And it can be chemical imbalances, as a lot of you know. Too much dopamine actually can cause schizophrenia. I read that a few days ago. And not enough serotonin, as a lot of us know, causes depression. And of course, we don't necessarily have to take a pill, right? Some of us can just exercise, go for a walk every day, and make that serotonin in our brain and be okay. But some of us, when we have other maladies and challenges in other parts of our brain along with it, it isn't enough. We need more. So yeah. All right. So now I'm on, so I covered parts of the brain before, the limbic system, the cerebral cortex up here, which can cause ADHD and that kind of thing if it's not functioning right. And then there's the, whatever it's called, behind the right ear part of the brain. I can't remember. And then there's the occipital or something way back here, which is the part of our brain, you guys, where we could see. Is that bizarre? It's way back here. Our eyeball brain part. It's not up here, anything. So, okay. Distinguishing hallucinations and delusions. This is where I'm at today. So if you guys want to catch up or peek at my other brain health talk from this book, Pebbles in the Pond, feel free to do so. I started my series about a week ago. Okay, what we have been talking about in the preceding pages is faulty perceptions are called hallucinations and delusions by the psychiatric community. Hallucinations are sensory experiences without corresponding external stimuli. A delusion is the product of a cognitive error, a false belief. However, delusions frequently result from an individual's attempts to explain hallucinations. So this is why also my son has never been diagnosed with schizophrenia and hopefully never will be. He doesn't have hallucinations. Has he been delusional and still is now and then? Yes. And but it's two very different things. Okay, so hallucinations is hearing things and this kind of thing. Delusions is more of your beliefs. Okay, so hallucinations. So the work of E. Fuller Torrey may help us gain a better understanding of hallucinations as the far or high end of a spectrum that begins with the experience of overly acute senses. This Dr. Torrey describes hallucinations as tricks our brains play on us. The formation of a true hallucination in the presence of no stimuli at all means that the brain makes up what it hears, sees, feels, smells, or tastes. Wow. I didn't know that, you guys. I thought it was like just hearing things. I didn't know. That makes sense. It's what you see, it's what you feel, may not even be there, it's what you smell, may not be there, and what you taste. These voices or visions are very real to the person, frequently crowding out the voices or appearances of people who are present. This explains why people often shout back to the voices. It also explains other fight back techniques, such as playing music on a portable stereo system with earphones or wanting to buy a drum set. Oh my God. He just likes to play drums, but anyway. All right. I'm going to read some more, but I have to turn the fan on low because I'm like getting hot and I need to get something out of the freezer before it explodes from being frozen. Yeah. Did you guys know that schizophrenia can attack, I don't know, that's what I'm going to call it here, anyone at any age in their life? I saw a thing on PBS about it, I'd say 15 years ago. And it happened to this mother in her 40s, and she just like woke up with it. It's just like, I think it's scary. There's a real stigmatism out there, you guys, about mental health issues. People's brains can be as sick as a broken arm or a cancerous tumor somewhere. I mean, our brain is part of our body. I don't know why people don't understand that. So anyway, I'm going to play a little tune, okay? And I'll be right back. You made your own pie crust? I hate baking. Put it on the calendar because I ain't never doing it again. You're so funny. I made an apple pie in my teens and I've never done it again. Apple. It was apple. I think it was okay. I hate baking. I don't like making cookies. Now cooking like a nice homemade spaghetti sauce or a meatloaf or a casserole, whatever, that's fun to me. But just rolling up dough and doing the sugar and I've never been into it. Is that something you and I have in common? Yeah, the stigma is the worst. They actually have walks here in Washington State with the NAMI thing, with the National Alliance of Mental Illness, whatever. Not whatever, but with the Alliance, where they have a walk every year. Oh, I just remembered it. It's called Stomp Out the Stigmatism. Stomp Out Stigmatism. Isn't that wonderful? T-shirts and everything. And I'd like to do it with my kids sometime. All right, let me put this back. I am going to put a beat on so you're not bored and you can hear some tunage while I grab my drink. Now, where am I? Okay, that was Cash Machine Forever. Have we heard this one yet? Let's see. Kind of twinkly. Didn't I play this one? Maybe not. Oh, I kind of like it. Okay, I'll be right back. More broken pieces. They just great. Dancing rapper. Wow, didn't even drip all over. that was so cool. That one was called Forever. It's an Anno Domini Beats. A-N-N-O. Did I say domino? Domini. Anno Domini Beats. D-O-M-I-N-I Beats. The one before that was Cash Machine that I danced to. The one before that was Lifelong. These are all by Anno Domini Beats. And then Shake. I like them. Okay, let's get back to my reading. So, wow. Gee, you guys. There's low end, middle, and high end. Look at this. Okay, I peeked at this book about schizophrenia and things like that years ago. Look at this. There's the low end, which is over acuteness. Lights appear brighter, colors take on a more brilliant hue. The middle, illusion. A dog appears to be a tiger. The carved handle of a walking stick becomes a gun. Then there's the hallucinations. Objects or lights are seen when nothing is there. One hears voices when alone. I didn't know there were even different levels. There's a tendency for people close to patients to scoff at the imaginary voices, to minimize them and not believe the persons really hear them. But they do. And in the sense that the brain hears them, they are real. The voices are but an extreme example of the malfunctioning of the sufferer's sensory apparatus. Gee. So Dr. Torrey's observation is helpful and important because the hallucinations are not real to some of us. We conclude that they cannot be real to the person reporting them. We assume they are being made up, but they're not. Types of hallucinations. Sunset some. All right, you have a nice time out there. I've never done that. I've never done hard drugs. I was offered acid when I was 16. And I was too chicken, and I've never done it. Meth, heroin, any of that. Thank God. It's more prevalent now in the last, 20 years and whatnot than maybe even the 80s. I always heard there was a real bad meth problem in Washington State out of all the states. Now, this was 20 years ago, I heard this, right? Or 30 when I first moved here. But now I'm thinking it's everywhere, you guys. Practically every state out there has like a meth and a heroin. And now what? Fentanyl problem? Thank you, Halloween baby. Thank you. Oh. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, I'm clean and sober from alcohol. And I found out I was for 12 years now, since 2011. And I found out, you guys, I was a periodic drinker. You don't have to drink every day or a gallon of vodka or whatever, booze down the hatch or something to be an alcoholic. It's when you're drinking and you can't stop or you don't want to stop, or when you do stop, it's when you find out you're coming to the next day, or you end up in the hospital with acute alcohol poisoning. Okay, that's happened to me at least, at least 4 or 5 times in my life. Yep. Once when I was here. Once when I was working at a restaurant, and I was still with Joe, but where was I? Was I in Aberdeen? Well, no, I was near Montesano. Now I can't remember, but anyway, I was 27. And then the other time when I ended up at Hazelton Treatment Center in Minnesota, I was there. Yeah. When I was 27, I ended up there. So that's incredible. And it's not easy because you need to leave people, places, and things. You know, people that are hooked on cocaine or something and they have their table they do it on, you got to get rid of that darn table, right? And your friends that call you up even a year later or something and act like they just want to say hi, do not answer the phone. I've heard so many. When I was in outpatient therapy, there were these women with young babies and young children. They were young. I was like 48 then, and they were 24 and whatever. And their dealers or their whatever would contact them, and they would answer, and it was on. Some of them lost their kids. Okay, types of hallucinations. Some people hear voices or sounds when there is no source for the things that are heard. Those are auditory hallucinations. They are the most common type of hallucination. Some people see figures or lights or tiny little people or animals that no one else in the same area can see, or the figures they see may be distorted. Those experiences are referred to as visual hallucinations. Not all hallucinations are unpleasant. Some of the voices can be comforting. Some of the visual hallucinations can be beautiful or very funny to watch. One type of hallucination can be very pleasant, is the olfactory type, which involves the sense of smell. People have reported smelling flowers, fresh baked bread, or the aroma of the seashore when they were in the state of Arizona. Unfortunately, many hallucinations are very unpleasant. Many individuals with olfactory hallucinations report terrible smells, such as rotting food, chemical smells, exaggerated body odors. Another type of hallucination that can be very bothersome involves tactile experience. An example would be feeling crawly things on your skin that can't be shaken off. We've probably all noticed people trying to brush things off. That might mean they are having tactile hallucinations. Gustatory or gustatory hallucinations are tastes. They are frequently reported as metallic or sour or sickeningly sweet. Sometimes unpleasant tastes can be caused by medications. Olfactory, tactile, and gustatory hallucinations can be associated with major mental illnesses, but they can also result from using street drugs or alcohol or as a reaction to some medications. Hi, Truth Seeker. Hi, everyone. Hallucinations may also be symptoms of other medical or neurological illnesses. It's important to discuss any hallucinatory experience with a physician. Okay, so types of hallucinations. Okay, these are some other types. Auditory, the hearing, right? Hearing a choir of angels inside one's head, hearing out of tune music, rasping violins, or hearing a voice talking about you. Synesthetic, or is it kinesthetic? It's with a C. Anyway, feeling neurotransmitters moving across the synaptic cleft. It's probably kinesthetic. Gustatory, tasting sharp lemon or having a metallic taste. These are examples. Kinesthetic. Okay, so the other one was sen, probably. This is with a K. Kinesthetic. Feeling like you're falling. Feeling like your vehicle is moving. Olfactory. Example. Smelling acrid poison gas coming from the radiator, entering a room that smells like a rose garden, smelling chocolate chip cookies or homemade bread baking. Somatic. Somatic. I think my son goes through some somatic things. All of this you're reading. Yeah, I'm reading it. I did the copyright 107 whatever thing. It's from Pebbles in the Pond, Living with Chronic Neurobiological Disorders, written by Larry S. Baker, MD, and Karen Landwehr. Somatic. You're sensing that a tunnel runs through your head, feeling pain in a limb that has been amputated. Those are just examples. These are all just examples. Tactile, feeling small insects crawling under one's skin, feeling someone is pushing you or sticking pins in you. Visual, seeing a monstrous glowing face on the wall, seeing one's departed parents standing by one's bed, seeing flashing lights or neon or electric rainbows. Good grief, I've never been through any of these hallucinations, thank goodness. Hallucination-like experiences. Okay, there's hypnagogic and hypnopompic. There are some fairly common experiences that at first glance may not seem to be hallucinations, such as transitory hallucinations, are in fact so common that experiencing them is not considered an indication that one has a mental illness. But you might impress people with your knowledge of these two great words. Hypnagogic, sense experiences while a person is falling asleep. So sense experiences while a person is falling asleep. Hypnopompic, sense experiences as a person is waking up. Okay, interesting. Okay, so that's that. So now we're on to delusions. If hallucinations can be understood as inaccurate perceptions arising from the interplay of attention and flawed brain function, delusions may be understood as arising from the interplay of one's perceptions, past experiences, and current situation. What is a delusion? A delusion is defined as a false belief that is based upon incorrect interpretation of external reality, and that is firmly held regardless of any evidence that the belief is false. It is a belief not ordinarily viewed as true by other members of one's culture or subculture. If the belief involves a value judgment, it is only considered a delusion when the judgment is so extreme that it defies credibility. If the belief involves a value judgment, it is only considered a delusion when the judgment is so extreme that it defies credibility. Delusions often arise as an attempt to explain unusual experiences or sensory perceptions, such as hallucinations. Delusions are common. Probably we have all had them, especially when we were young. Many of them are completely harmless. Others of them have led to centuries of enmity and war. Delusional thinking can be very dangerous to individuals and entire societies. One of the mistakes people frequently make is assuming that only people who are mentally ill hold delusional beliefs. Yet there is plenty of evidence that not only individuals, but also whole societies have held delusional beliefs. Lisa Strimple-Patios pointed out that a number of years ago that the most pervasive delusions are sexism and racism. Interesting. I didn't even know that racism was considered a delusion, or sexism. All right. As mentioned before, at one time it was widely accepted fact that the earth was flat, with the rest of the universe revolving around it. People who disagreed with this belief were imprisoned or burned at the stake. People who are different from the majority of people in the society in which they live, whether it is because they speak a different language, have a different sexual orientation, or their skin color is different, have been enslaved or discriminated against to various degrees. In America, as well as other countries, some people once believed that slavery was justified based on the misconception that some people are more human than others. The definition of a delusion suggests that one key factor to consider is what other members of the person's culture believe. But what if the beliefs of that culture are false, as was the case when slavery was an accepted part of society? Most of us today would say that the beliefs underlying slavery are false, just as, if asked directly whether we truly believe the superstitions mentioned on a preceding page, most of us would deny it and say that they are old wives' tales. So where I said, knock on wood so it doesn't happen to you, throwing salt over your shoulder, whatever the other ones were that I said 2 days ago, those superstitions. Yet even when we know that a belief is false, it can retain the ability to control our behavior and leave us feeling unsettled if we fail to observe it. In other words, we have beliefs that are firmly held in spite of evidence that they are false, and we continue to behave as if they were true, even when most other people in our culture recognize that they are not. Isn't that the definition of a delusion? Goodness gracious. An important function of beliefs lies in helping us understand the world in which we live. But what if our experience of the world includes hallucinations and distortions of external stimuli? It is extremely difficult to convince someone that a delusion is false when the belief arises from a perceptual disorder rather than from faulty reasoning or lack of knowledge. In such cases, the problem is not the conclusions people arrive at, but their actual experience of the world. Individuals with delusional ideas also experience problems in sensory perception that result in experiencing external and internal sensory stimuli more vividly and more intensely. In seeking to explain overwhelmingly intense experiences, the individual develops an explanation rooted in a life experience. Oh my gosh. This is what my son is doing. He's trying to say he's been to Montana. He's never been there. He's never been there. Something bad is going to happen to him when he goes back someday. And it says, it's seeking to explain overwhelmingly intense experiences. The individual develops an explanation rooted in a life experience that is not shared by anyone else. The term content refers to the specifics of a delusional belief. The patient is delusional because he or she is actually experiencing perceptual input that demands an explanation. The patient presents his or her particular delusion with content that is drawn from his or her past history or present circumstances, because that is the kind of explanatory material available to him or her. Well, for him, it's not even past history or present circumstances. It's just pulled out of nowhere, so we will believe more of what he's saying to us. Well, everyone experiences the world a little bit differently. When our experience is too different from that of others, our explanation for that experience will differ to the same or even greater degree. When our explanations of life differ too greatly from those held by most people in the society in which we live, society says that our beliefs are delusions. If we take action in response to our delusional beliefs, our behavior may seem odd, even bizarre, to the people around us whose experiences and therefore understanding of the world are significantly different from our own. Our efforts to understand delusions produce two underlying truths. Delusions are answers to important life questions. There are usually kernels of truth within the delusion. Yeah. Now, his friend lives in Montana, or did years ago, right? And he actually, with his phone or whatever, showed Montana, countryside, and his backyard and stuff. So that's a kernel of truth that he's seen, right? Parts of this Montana. Wow. There is often a lot of societal support for delusional beliefs. It may simply be wishful thinking. Sometimes it's an advertising gimmick. What? For example, how many times the past few years have you received an envelope in the mail and opened it to find in large letters, your name, your town, your city, won $10 million? For most people, that experience isn't particularly eventful. We decide whether to enter the contest or not, subscribe to the magazines or not, buy some flower bulbs or not. But some people whose thinking is impaired by the symptoms of a mental illness, developmental disabilities, Alzheimer's, or other medical conditions may be very vulnerable to such advertising practices. Wow. We recall an elderly woman who stayed away from a long anticipated family reunion because she knew she was about to be awarded a large prize. She showed her family letters to prove what she believed would happen at that very time. This same woman sent a number of large donations to organizations because she believed small children would starve to death if she didn't send the money. She had received letters in the mail that suggested that was the case, and furthermore had seen the same information on TV. People who think concretely, who take words literally, and do not look for or notice the fine print of written information or verbal speech can be very stressed and disappointed when reality strikes. In this day of microchips and everything from greeting cards and automobile ignition systems to soft drink dispensing machines, we increasingly receive information in unexpected ways and may not know the source of the next piece of information or whether it will be spoken or written. With certain models of new cars, warning messages are spoken and the owner can select the gender of the message giver. Do we want a man's voice or a woman's voice telling us the key is in the ignition or the headlights are still on? Our favorite message, by the way, is the door is ajar. Say that slowly and think about it from the perspective of a person who thinks concretely and interprets words literally. The door is ajar. The door is an actual jar. I see. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to stop here because there's a lot more. How do delusions develop? There's pre-psychotic, there's acute phase, and there's chronic phases. There's the primary process, there's different stages. There's delusional jealousy, reference delusion, nihilistic, persecutory, grandiose, erotomanic. There's all kinds, religious, somatic, thought control, and then putting it all together, some coping strategies, the do's and don'ts of delusions. There's a lot more. So I'm going to stop at this today. Oh my goodness gracious. And after this, delusions and hallucinations is psychosis and the psychotic disorders. Are you guys still with me? Yeah, if you want to support the channel, it'd be wonderful. For all my riveting information, right? In May, I'm getting this tooth fixed. See it? It's just right there. It used to go straight across, and I was trying to take a lid off a bottle or something. I don't know. It could have been even something like this. And yeah, and I had these two bonded nice and straight across. It just makes my whole smile look better. And I'm not afraid. They do a shot up there, and it'll be quick because it's just a little part. Remember when you were younger and you could just drink soda? When you get older, it gets stronger. It has a real bite to it. I can't explain it. You hate cooking? You only do it out of guilt? I don't cook very much because my son doesn't like anything mixed. So, I'll buy like some little casseroles or some fun things for her and I to eat that are already made. Um, and now and then I'll make like a homemade macaroni and cheese or um, a skillet of something or, rice and whatever. But he doesn't like all like the gravies and the mushroom soup mixes he doesn't like that stuff. All right, so these topics are depressing. This woman was killed on her anniversary. Trigger warning in chat if you guys don't mind. You probably heard the story. It was, I think she was from Vermont, and I lived there in my high school years because that's where my mom was when I moved in with her at the age of 14. I lived with just my father from the age of 10 to 14 with my sister. They had their divorce, and so anyway, but I think they were traveling, and I think they were in like New Hampshire or something, or Connecticut. Yeah, and she had been missing for a while. So, and I can't remember the names, so I'm just going to type in um, woman killed. Why does it do this? Okay, I'm typing in W, and then it's there. And after I type woman, it changes to Somam. Why does it do that? I mean, Eastern. Okay. And I type in Eastern and Western comes up. See that? And I do one space and it changes to Western. Okay, this is like driving me bonkers. Why am I having a hard time with this? Makes no sense. Maybe I have to get on Google. I think I thought I was on Google and I wasn't. Okay, that's probably the problem. No, it happened again, you guys. And the other thing is, I can't get the Spanish off. I can't, I can't get the other language off. Okay, I figured it out. It wasn't even on Google, you guys. Oh my goodness. Can we do a panel or something? Hi, Rapper. Well, I can come back later tonight and do one. Why don't I do that? Because it's 3 hours earlier here and it's almost 5 and I have to make dinner. And then I've got these 2 stories on here. Click the globe. I'm blaming the eclipse for every darn thing. You're so funny. Rapper, are you going to come up and do panel later? Are you going to do panel? Okay, it's working because it's on Google. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the name. Is it Sylvia Likens? No. Good grief, you guys. Woman dead after bus hits group outside Hawaii cruise ship terminal. The Illinois woman had been celebrating her wedding anniversary with her husband and some relatives. Unreal. Sorry, you guys. I thought I could pull it up instantly. It's driving me crazy. All right. So what I'm going to do is look into this and get the names, and do the other one, the crossbow killer. Guy is fruitier than a fruitcake or whatever. Put a 1 in chat if you've heard of this story. Good grief, here he is. Put a 1 in chat if you've heard of the crossbow killer. This is him. See, there he is in the middle with his crossbow. Stephen Griffiths. Lizzo's heard of it. Oh, he was the crossbow cannibal who was caught killing on camera. Okay, trigger warning in the chat. He does not look familiar, says Mary Jane. Yeah, I can't remember where this happened. Let me see. CCTV. YouTube, our life. He posed on CCTV. What? Oh my gosh, you guys. He posed on CCTV after butchering and eating someone. What a nutcase. True Crime Central, Our Life, 2023. Okay, he's from the UK. Conviction of Stephen Griffiths, suspected serial killer, appears in British court. All right, is there a short one? Video shows moments after the slaying. Medecin Joir. See, this is the thing. I could show it and not have the volume. Not it, but especially when they're from other countries, right? YouTube, history's biggest villains. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show this one. It's 8 minutes. I'm going to stop it every 12 seconds.
For 36-year-old Suzanne Blakebyers to his apartment. A few minutes later, she was seen on CCTV camera footage frantically running from his apartment. Stephen calmly walked out, armed with his crossbow, and shot Suzanne in the head. He dragged her back to his apartment, where she was never seen again. The entire shooting was caught on camera, with Stephen brazenly shoving a middle finger at the camera as he walked past. He was
Oh, that guy's voice is really intense. I gotta turn it down a little. Wait. Thank you. Thank you, Sean B., for putting the trigger warning. In fact, I should put it up on the bottom of the thing. I'll do this, okay? So it's just automatically there.
He was obsessed with the fame and attention surrounding serial killers, and he wanted his recognition. Welcome to history's biggest villains.
Okay, let me turn it down more. Guy has such a bold voice.
Stephen Griffiths was born December 24th, 1969 in Dewsbury, West Yorkshire. His family life was rather uneventful until his parents divorced. This hurt him greatly because he had a strong bond with his father. Classmates of his said that he was strange and had some oddball tendencies. He would collect hunting knives, and he talked about extreme violence with the other kids at school. Although he was withdrawn.
Good grief. You're so funny. Till an hour ago, you put your hair in a ponytail across your... Yo.
Drawn and disengaged at school, people around the town reported him doing sadistic things to animals. He would shoot birds and dismember them. Despite all of his antics, Griffiths was really intelligent, with his father paying £9,000 a year to put him into a private school. Despite all of this, Stephen dropped out of school in 1986. At the age of 16. His first brush with the law came a year later at the age of 17. He was caught trying to shoplift items from a supermarket in Leeds, and the manager tried to stop him. Then Stephen pulled out a knife and slashed the manager across the face, leaving a wound that required 19 stitches to close. Stephen was arrested and spent a year in juvenile detention for his crime. After his release from jail, he enrolled in a psychology program at the University of Bradford, but in 1989, he had another run-in with the police. He felt that a group of female students were making fun of him, so he broke into their apartment, brandishing a knife and pressing it to the throat of one of the girls before yelling at them.
Good grief. Wow. Oh, really? Wow. Lizzo, I forgot you were British. Yeah, he does. He does.
To answer for this perceived offense. He then ran away without harming anyone else. Stephen was sentenced to 2 years in prison for this attack. While in prison, the psychiatrist described him as a sadistic, schizoid psychopath. He seems to relish the idea of killing and maiming people. He would openly talk with his fellow inmates about murder. Obviously someone that you should be letting out of prison. In 1993, he graduated with a degree in psychology amidst all of his criminal problems. During this time, Stephen began to fully embrace his murderous fantasies. He often wore a large black trench coat and walked his pet lizard on a leash. He definitely did everything he could to stand out in his neighborhood.
He walked a pet lizard on his leash outside. Do other people do that? Maybe they do.
In 1998, now 29, he met a new girlfriend named Zeta Pinder through a Lonely Hearts ad. She met him in a pub and she warmed up to him. When she went to his apartment for the first time, she was taken aback by what she saw. His bookshelves were lined with biographies about famous serial killers, and he had samurai swords and crossbows hanging on the walls. Zeta made up an excuse to leave, and she ended the relationship immediately. As Griffiths continued to study, he became obsessed with Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, calling him his role model. His fascination with murder consumed his entire life. On June 22nd,
Good griefers. This is 8 minutes long, and it's what, 3 minutes and something in.
2009, 43-year-old Susan Rushworth was reported missing. She was a mother of 3 who had been doing sex work at the time. The police investigation yielded nothing. For 10 months, the police struggled with leads. On April 26, 2010, a similar missing persons report was filed in Bradford. Shelley Armitage, who was 31, was also a sex worker. The police were again out of luck until they secured CCTV footage capturing the night that she went missing, but nothing else came of it. While the police were investigating the previous 2 disappearances, a third woman disappeared from the area, 36-year-old Suzanne Blaymyers. She had dreams of becoming a nurse before developing a drug addiction and resorting to sex work. 2 days after...
I think she's really pretty, this one. That's so sad. Beard Dragon, LOL. Come on, peeps, it's Beard Dragon. Wow. Thank you, Teresa, for putting this in. I did read the Section 107 thing at the beginning of my show, just to let you know, but I appreciate that. I have it right here, copyright disclaimer thing. Okay, whoops, here we go.
For Suzanne's disappearance, the police received CCTV footage that would blow the case wide open. The cameras were located in the hallway of an apartment where Griffiths lived. The caretaker of the complex was scrolling through the footage captured by the camera when he noticed a woman running down the hallway. A man was walking behind, whom the caretaker immediately recognized as Griffiths. He was carrying a crossbow. The woman seen running in the footage was missing woman Suzanne Blaymyers. In full view of the security cameras, Griffiths stopped and aimed his crossbow. He fired a bolt that hit her in the head. He then dragged her lifeless body back to the apartment, but not before he looked directly into the camera.
Good grief. There's this last young gal. Jeez, you guys.
Sticking up the middle finger and holding his crossbow up so it was clearly in the frame. On May 24, 2010, the police rushed to Stephen's apartment, where he easily gave himself up. A stark contrast to the brazenness he had showed a few days earlier. Upon his apprehension, he told police that he was Osama bin Laden. During police interviews, Stephen said that he had deep issues inside of him, of course. Although he admitted to killing Susan Blaymyers, he refused to tell police where he hid her body. However, the next day,
I know it's a pain when I have to keep stopping it, but I've so far been okay with that. And shout out to, what is this? History's Biggest Villains. History's Biggest Villains.
passerby stumbled upon a backpack that was tossed on the ground, only 5 miles from his apartment. Inside the bag was the severed head of Suzanne Blaymyers, with the crossbow bolt still stuck inside of it. The police searched the nearby lake and found numerous other body parts. Police also discovered a suitcase with tools that might have been used to dismember her body. The police were able to determine that Stephen killed Suzanne, dismembered her in the bathtub, and left his apartment. He was even captured on CCTV carrying suitcase.
What a sicko. I shouldn't even be playing this on a nice Sunday afternoon. I hope my sister isn't watching this.
Which he admitted were full of body parts, to the train station before getting off the train to dispose of them in the river. Stephen had also admitted to murdering both Suzanne Rushworth and Shelley Armitage and multiple other women. He had an online alter ego named Ven Pariah, whom he described as a misanthrope who brought hate into heaven. On May 28, 2010, his court date arrived. In an effort to torment the victim's family even further and increase his notoriety, he referred to himself as the crossbow cannibal when asked by the court to introduce himself. This caused a stunned...
Fucking asshole. It's people like that that I hope literally get it in prison. Do you know what I mean? Like Jeffrey Dahmer got it.
Silence throughout the courtroom. It was later revealed that Stephen filmed and took pictures of his victims. In December 2010, he pled guilty to the murders of Suzanne Blaymyers, Susan Rushworth, and Shelley Armitage. He was sentenced to a whole life term, and he was sent to H.M. Wakefield Prison upon his conviction, where he has been on hunger strikes and has attempted suicide on multiple occasions. I feel like when I look at this case, I just see someone who is fiending for attention, someone who is begging for attention in any way possible. Like he sees.
What a flippin' goof.
What the serial killers have done, and he thinks, what can I do to create the most shock value and get the most attention? And I just want people to know me as this ruthless serial killer. Like the fact that you would knowingly shoot someone with a crossbow, and you know that the hallway has cameras, and you look into the camera to try to like be some type of like cult figure against the authority establishment guy, but you turn out to be just a really narcissistic asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who really just feels like.
Hello, Colin. Hi, Brian Bremer.
The gratification supersedes everyone else. Like the fact that you.
All right. Well, he's just commenting on his feelings, so I don't know. Like, maybe they didn't even die right away. You know? Okay, so that's depressing. Hi, Mirandy, go round. Oh, you had ribs, carrots, and tater tots? Yum, yum. I'm going to put some chicken in for my son. My daughter's taking a little nap. Oh gosh, you guys, it's just, I just think it's really super scary. All right, I'm going to play a song while I go turn the oven on, okay? Oh, wait, it's 5 now. Wait a minute. He started at 8, and that's now. He started 17 minutes ago. I'm going to end this live and head over to Tattooed Rebel 2229. If anyone wants to put the link in chat, feel free. He's got game night. I think it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He was going to pick someone from the chat, ask questions. There's a prize in there somewhere. That's where I'm going, and I'm late. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me like this. I love it. It's fun. It passes the time. Please hit the like. Please subscribe if you will. Help me get my count back up. Love you. Tattooed Rebel 2229 is the channel. Hope to see you there.